What's up, party people? Today I have a guide for you on how to obtain the Dragonic Squama. This is not only a powerful defensive accessory, but is also required for crafting the Dragonic Perpetus. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any of this epic content. Let's get this party started. When it comes to crafting the Dragonic Squama, there are actually two different methods you can follow, and I will be covering both of those in this guide. I am, however, going to start with the traditional method. This method involves completing some quests and farming some items. These items that you need are actually listed here, and I'll pull this up really quick. You need a mysterious pendant, you need 5 maneuver magic crystals, and you need a dragon scale. And in order to fix the pendant, you need 30 slime mucus. So how do you obtain these items? Well, it all starts with obtaining this shattered mysterious pendant. So I'm going to start with that quest, and as we go through the quest, I will show you the spots where you can farm the magic crystals and the slimes and the dragon scale. I do also want to mention that in order to get the dragon scale, you need to have dream powder, which you craft from the Dragonoid Signet, and if you need a guide on how to do that, you can check that out right here. The quest to obtain the Shattered Mysterious Pendant is obtained from Justin in Valley Rift. You can get to Valley Rift from any teleporter in our Deca. I do also want to mention really quick here that the Dragonic Squama does require level 170 to equip. So after you grab this quest, you are going to be heading to Elenome, and there's a couple different ways to get there. I personally used the holy water in this one, and you'll see here that you can just teleport to Elenome Shrine, Dravice Secret Path. But if you don't have holy water active, you can always just run north to the Elenome Shrine, talk to NPC Yednek, and he will let you into that same map, and then it's just a short run to the northeast in order to get here. So once you teleport here, you're going to run up to the entrance to the dungeon and head on in. Before going in, though, there is a title quest that you can take called Rage Against the Traitor, and I would recommend grabbing that. I also want to mention here that you can complete this dungeon up to 6 times a day, which means that you can usually get this accessory within 1 day with the current drop rates, so hopefully it'll stay that way. Anyway, go ahead and take that option right before the entrance and head on in. Now, there is a little bit of a cutscene that happens here in the beginning, so you have a little bit of time to buff up your character and to get ready. Once the little barrier drops, you can head forward and talk to Maneuver. This is where you continue your quest. So you're going to select the following Maneuver quest, you're going to receive the reward, and then you're going to go ahead and take the next quest. After that, you'll talk to him again, and then you will select the first option, and it'll open the gate into the first area. Now, you need to kill at least 40 of these Dravice guards. However, you need to kill more to get to the next area. So basically, you just want to kill everything in the area, or the majority of it. You trigger the guys coming out by attacking the scouts, and then more monsters spawn. You can also trigger them by breaking the random breakables that are in the room. That'll summon more monsters as well, and that also goes towards your Rage Against the Traitor. While fighting the monsters here, you'll notice that they'll drop these red Dravice badges, and these are actually really important for the next section of the quest, so make sure that you pick them up. I do also want to mention that there's a secondary door in this room that you can enter if you already have the Shattered Mysterious Pendant or any version of it. This will allow you to skip the next room, which is relevant if you're doing multiple runs of this dungeon. Once you have successfully dispatched most of the monsters in the room, you can start heading towards the next area. Now, this next area can be kind of hard for some people. There's like some falling rocks, and it can be kind of difficult for people to get around, but if you practice it enough, you won't have any issues. Also, if you have any speed buffs or anything like that, that helps a lot too. Anyway, before running into the next area, you are going to talk to Maneuver. Make sure you turn in the quest before you talk to him. I didn't do that here because I'd already turned it in, but you want to turn in the quest and take the next one and then move on to the next area. As you can see here, there's some falling rocks. You just have to run around them. It's not too hard, but for some people it's difficult. And you need to kill these Dravice stone throwers to complete the next section of the quest. I will mention here that if you fail it enough times, these won't be here, so you won't be able to continue with the quest, so you'll have to do it on your next run through. Also, the breakable rocks here also go towards your Rage Against the Traitor title quest if you want to do that as well. Now, before heading to the next area, like any of them, turn in the quest and take the next quest. These are all very important because if you don't, you'll have to get it on your next run through in the dungeon, as when you progress through areas, there's no way to go back. In addition to taking the next quest here, you can also talk to Maneuver to get a resurrection buff, which is really nice, especially if you end up messing up later in the dungeon and dying. Now, this next section, you have to kill the Dravice Guard Champion, and this is where those Dravice Red badges that I asked you to pick up earlier will come in handy, because you have to kind of solve a little bit of a puzzle here in order to summon him, and if you don't do it correctly, he won't be summoned and you won't be able to complete the quest. You'll see that there are 4 glowing, floating coins in this room, or whatever you want to call them, and you have to destroy them in a specific order. Now, that order is different each time you complete the dungeon. In order to find out that order, you need to go over to the wall here, activate these panels, and then it will tell you the order that you need to complete the or destroy the little emblems or coins in. Now, there is actually another title here that I should mention. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but if you manage to break all 4 in the correct order without using any red badges, that is another title that you can get here. And basically, the only way to do that is to run through here and just get lucky. Anyway, so go ahead, look at the combination, follow the combination, and break all of the coins. I do also want to mention here that after you kill the captain, you can use this shrine to skip the next part of the dungeon if you want. Now that your friend has been summoned, go ahead and take him out. He's not terribly hard, he just stuns you, which is kind of annoying. So after defeating him, you are once again going to go and find your friend Maneuver, and you will be turning in a quest, and you will be taking another quest. Once again, this is very important. Don't forget to grab the quest, otherwise you'll have to get it on your next run through. Now, this next section of the dungeon actually entails a maze, and within those mazes there are slimes. Now, it asks you to kill a Slime King. There is no Slime King. You just have to kill one of the slimes in the maze, which is pretty easy. This is also the part of the dungeon now where you can farm your slime mucuses. There are only a certain amount of slimes that spawn each run, but the drop rate for slime mucus is now pretty dang high. So you just want to make sure you try to kill as many of the slimes in the dungeon as you can, and through subsequent runs, you should be able to get to 30 slime mucus pretty easy. Now, in terms of getting through the maze, I like to just stick to the right section of the maze and then just follow that right wall all the way through. For me, this has been an effective way to not get lost in the maze, and it's just kind of how I've always personally done it. Anyway, so you just want to run through the maze, you want to kill the slimes, you want to pick up the mucus, and you want to make your way to the next door. This part of the quest is actually where a lot of people mess up. They go to the door and they forget to take the quest and they just go through. So once again, at the door, you have to turn in the quest and take the next quest and then go through the door. If you miss this, I'll repeat myself again, you'll have to redo, you'll have to get it on your next run through the dungeon. That's a reoccurring theme here. Anyway, if you've gotten to this point, there is only one section left of your quest before you get the mysterious pendant. The Shattered Mysterious Pendant, and that is by killing Maneuver. So you'll get up to this section here, you want to buff up, you want to do the or activate the little quest marker there. There'll be a little cutscene, and then it'll be time to fight Maneuver. He will appear in the form of a giant scorpion, so you want to go ahead and you want to start attacking him. There's really nothing special about this scorpion fight. You just kind of DPS him down, and he does have the option to drop dark scorpion shells, which are used to get the Lobster Chef title. But other than that, nothing really special. After defeating the scorpion, Maneuver will transform into his normal self or whatever, and you want to go ahead and just DPS him down again. Now, he's not terribly hard and doesn't do a ton of damage, but if you don't kill him fast enough, he will go into a special mode where these hands will appear on the ground, and if you don't kill them fast enough, he'll gain a bunch of experience. Luckily, with the XP boosting or the damage boosting items that are in game right now, it shouldn't be too hard to defeat him before those pop up, but if they do, I will also show you how to handle that. So like I mentioned, if you don't manage to kill him fast enough, he will summon a bunch of hands on the floor. At this point, you don't need to panic. All you want to do is just start targeting those hands and using a bunch of AoE abilities. And you want to kill as many of them as you can before this phase ends, because for every hand that's there, he'll gain more HP. It's not really that hard. You just need to know what AoE abilities your class has and utilize those. So go ahead, kill the hands, and then you'll still be able to kill him, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem. If you don't kill any of the hands, he will gain quite a lot of HP, so it is important to target these and not. Once you've defeated Maneuver, you'll complete the quest, you'll get your Shattered Mysterious Pendant, and if you're lucky, you will get a Maneuver's Magic Crystal as well. This is the spot where those Magic Crystals drop. Now, the next portion of the dungeon, you need a Dream Powder to fight the optional boss. So go ahead, have your Dream Powder ready. Like I said, if you don't know how to get that, you can check that out. I have a guide on my channel. If not, get ready, and we're going to head in for the final boss. Once you're ready, talk to the door and head on inside. Once inside, you're going to see a big glowing purple ball. That is where you're going to want to walk to, and you're going to want to start the fight. Now, Once again, not a super challenging fight, but there are a couple of mechanics you need to watch out for. One is you'll see that there's spinning things on the floor. You don't want to stand in those. They're kind of like AoE damage. He will also, throughout the fight, summon this giant, like fire dragon attack, and that will rapidly drain your HP. So if you have a HP boosting skill, definitely use that. If not, just run away and recover your HP before continuing to fight him. Other than that, the fight is pretty simple. Once again, various different AoEs that happen on the ground. You can see they appear as circles. You just don't want to be standing in those. In this fight, I'm kind of ignoring them because as an Alokan, I have an HP recovery buff, and it kind of makes it easy to not have to worry about taking the damage. But if you are, just avoid those and, take your time and fight him. When he is using the fire ability, you won't be able to do any damage to him, so you'll just have to wait. But yeah, so after you kill him, if you're lucky, you will get the Dragon Tier drop, the Dragon Scale drop, which is another item that you need for your Squama. So go ahead and pick that up, and you are now finished with the dungeon. In order to head out, you can just talk to the NPC, and you will make your way out of the dungeon. So now you know how to get all the parts to craft the Squama. You've completed the quest, you've got the Shattered Mysterious Pendant, and you had to farm the dungeon a few times to get 5 of these magic crystals and to get 30 of these slimes. You fought the optional boss at the end to get the Dragon Scale. Now you need to come to NPC Nomada. The first thing you need to do is you need to repair your Shattered Mysterious Pendant. In order to do that, you type in Mysterious Pendant, and you craft the Mysterious Pendant. And yes, please begin crafting, and boom, you now have your Mysterious Pendant right here, which is actually not a bad PvP item if you don't want to take it all the way to the Squama. It gives 5% PvP damage res and 5% damage res. So now you have your Mysterious Pendant, you have your 5 crystals, and you have your Dragon Scale. So once again, you need to come back to this NPC, you need to click on Dragonic Squama, ready to craft, and please begin crafting. After that, you will now have your brand new Dragonic Squama. Now, there is a second way to farm this, and I'm going to be explaining that right now. The second method of farming the Squama involves farming the Crespo Hard Mode dungeon. Now, this is a pretty hard dungeon. You need a pretty good party to complete it. So this is not the method that I would choose to get the Squama, but I do want you to know that it's available. If you need a guide for completing that dungeon, you can check it out right here. Now, after you complete the dungeon, you get yourself Underground Skulls. These Underground Skulls can be exchanged through this option right here to make Underground Skulls 3. As you see here, you get the 2s from Seed of Dreams, and you get the 1s from the drop rate. Now, once you have these, you can take them, and you can come back to this option again, and you can go to Draconic Accessory. Here you can actually craft any of the Draconic accessories, including the Squama, at a 90% success rate. This is not, in my opinion, the easiest way to get the Squama because it's so easy to do it the other way, but I do want you guys to know that this option is available. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions or suggestions, as always, you can leave them in the comments. I hope you found this video helpful, and until next time, take care.